Welcome to Livzenastrology, the channel for updates and reflections, where we are grounded in the stars and elevated by consciousness. Thank you for tuning in. Hi friends and family. I just wanted to pop on here and share some energy with you. I've been recently uploaded, if you would say, or downloaded a way to work with Venus. So ever since the Venus star point went into Libra back in October 20th, 2022, there was an activation 6 months now moving from that date, which was April 18th, where the North Node, or the solar eclipse was in the 29-degree point of Aries. So what does that mean in relation to the energy and this new upload that I received from Venus? Well, as I'm starting to deepen my relationship with the planets are actually speaking to me, and I'm learning to listen in a new way, and they're sharing new configurations, if you will, new ways to connect to them through astrology and through the divination of tarot. So I don't know if any of you are familiar with the tarot cards or divination decks or oracle cards, but those are really good correspondences to work with when you're working with astrology. And I think from the last reflection I did, I was sharing that I'm working now with the Tarot of Gaia Dream Books, which actually has the tarot in it. They have astrological placements within the tarot, and also in relation to what's going on energetically with the planets and astrologically, right? So I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of the message that Venus would like to share for all of us as a collective, because I've been working with this new prototype, if you will, the way that Venus wants to work. And I can give you a little bit of a summary. I can kind of show you. I know it looks kind of gibberish right now, but there is a method to this. So let me just go ahead and show you, flip the camera here. So this is the Venus star point. So this is how she wanted to be read and wanted to be worked with, sort of the upload that I received. So when you're drawing a star, just like when you're a kid, right? You go in and you just draw a star. So I used to draw stars, all the time. So I'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was my star, and I would repeat it many, 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 many times. But what Venus wanted for me to work with her, she wanted me to start at, this is point 1, point 2, point 3, 4, and 5. And then the 6 is the heart of the matter, right? And so what she wanted me to start doing is to start corresponding this particular modality, this star configuration, and then she wanted me to pull the tarot cards, right, to match up the frequencies of the energy. So this would be position 1, position 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the heart of the matter, which would be the center. So it's interesting today that the center point is in Capricorn. It's the Devil card, which the moon is in Capricorn right now, which I find very fascinating, that the center point of the card today would be Capricorn, right? So what is Capricorn trying to show us in that point? And there was a lot of messages, there was a lot of writings on this. And again, I'm still learning to work with the energies as I'm, learning to work with this configuration. But the words that came up, which I found very interesting, because what I did is before I did this reading, I asked, what would Venus like to share with all of us? And we know that Venus is our love and money planet, right? It's our values, it's the things we love, it's the path of the beauty way, the things that we find beautiful, and maybe where we're not. If it's squared, or maybe you're not feeling Venus flow for you right now in terms of financial abundance or love abundance or community, whatever Venus is coming in to represent for you, there might be some ways she's sharing energy that she wants you to know how to work with her, how to work with, I should say they, I don't want to necessarily denote it as a feminine. Venus can be masculine and feminine. We're all of it, right? We're masculine and feminine, but astrologically, Venus is considered more of a feminine. And in terms of energetics, it's just more of a receptive energy. We're masculine, and this is not in terms of gender now. This is in terms of frequency. Masculine tends to be more of the go-getting, the action, the parts of us that take initiation. That's ruled by Mars. Well, right now, Venus and Mars are both in Cancer. And we know that Cancer, when you start, deep diving into astrology, it is about the home. It's our roots. It's our families. It's our mother and our father. So right now we both have Mars and Venus transiting through the sign of Cancer. And so she's speaking to me very loudly about issues of security, the home, financial security, whatever that means for you. Does it mean having a certain number of money in the bank, a certain numerology attached to money? Is that what's going to make you feel safe? Or possibly having friends and family, a community, a network of like-minded hearts and beings who are there for you, who can help contribute to whatever it is you're going through. Is that your abundance? Is your abundance in your health? Are you feeling physically well? Because we still have the North Node in Taurus, which is what we've come to learn. And we've got right now today, Uranus, which is the planet of change, right next to the sun. It's Cassimi the sun. So Cassimi is in the heart of. And so what's being really shown to us right now is new inventive ways to work with what? Taurus is the body. It's me, myself, I. It's your own system. It's also, again, it's ruled by Venus, which is your values, which is your love and money, which is what you consider to be beautiful and balanced, and where do you have harmony and, again, beauty in your life. So what does this all mean in relation to what Venus wants to share, and especially with the moon right now in Capricorn? So there's a lot that wanted to be transmitted and shared with you today, but the big key terms that came up as I'm also working with this Venus star point is I'm using this rulership book also that I think I showed with you guys that has basically, it's the definition for all words and astrologically where they originated. So with this Venus star point reading, I went ahead and picked a word for each point in the astrology and each point where Venus is lying. And the word that came up for the first position was versatility. And what I'm being shown is that we need to learn to pivot. The root of the etymology of versatility is easily turning one's mind to tasks or subjects, capability to turn either backwards or forwards. So this is the time right now to really learn to pivot. Where? In our bodies. Becoming more flexible. Uranus is all about our electrical system. It's about our nervous system. And of course, in Taurus, it's our body. So if you want to rewire the brain, rewire how you think about things. If you want to rewire your emotional nature, which right now Capricorn is in the moon, which rules our emotions, it's about our disciplines. It's our discipleship. It's what we do every day to learn how to be in our bodies, to learn how to navigate our electrical systems, our nervous systems, so we can have a better experience of health, our vitality, robustness, and being able to turn, literally, this could mean learning to be more flexible. So are you flexible in your body? Can you, bend down to touch your toes? Can you bend down to put on your shoes easily, right? Because again, correspondence is as above, so below. If you're having a hard time bending over to pivot, to move, then you might be having a challenging space to move or pivot in your life, right? What you need to relinquish emotionally, what you need to relinquish mentally to be able to have a better experience within your body, within your physical environment, which is Taurus, right? So the next correspondence is the second house placement, or the second position in the Venus star point is coming up as please or finds, 7th house. And when I'm doing the etymology of the word please or finds, what was coming in was termination or end of life, payment and settlement, satisfy a debt, or soothe or quiet your debts, your payments. So with Capricorn being in the center point right now, and with our emotional nature, and what Venus is sharing, asking specifically, okay, Venus, what do you want us to know? Where are you karmically, or even in your life with payments, with finances? Where are you in debt? Where do you owe somebody something? Do you owe somebody an apology? Do you owe outstanding debts, payments to, what you agreed to pay with, right? We're learning that there's been a lot of imbalances in this world in relation to our love and money, and to debt, finance, you know, we're all learning the imbalances, but where have you individually been imbalanced? So where do you know that's lingering in your consciousness, maybe where you owe a payment, maybe where you borrowed money from a friend, a family, a debt collector that you know you owe that money to, but you're, for whatever reason, choosing not to pay it. And that can, in the long term, end up as karmic debt. So pay your debts, whatever that means for you. And I know right now we're still battling what is fair debt, right? And what is unjust debt. So this is something for you to balance on, because this is also in the fourth position. And I'm going to jump to the fourth position in the reading, which is the Venus star point. It talks about foresight, attention, caution, insight, attained beforehand, the ability to foresee and prepare wisely for the future. So this is also, you know, Saturn rules Capricorn and the moon is in Capricorn. In order for you to move forward, which is Uranus, into a thinking way, into a new future, you have to clear up your karmic debts. You have to clear up your debts. So wherever it is that you are indebted to somebody, whether it be financially, emotionally, where do you owe that apology? Where do you owe that acts of service to the other that you know in the back of your mind you did not complete? This is what's being called to look at, because it's also could be impeding your ability to have foresight into the future, because you still got to clean up what's going on from the past. Again, because we have Mars and Venus, which are in Cancer, and Cancer rules the past, rules family. So where did you, and again, this is not passing judgment, because we're not looking to judge ourselves or one another. It's just an honest assessment of where do we owe debts? Where are we unpaid in some part of our lives, in our relationships? And it's coming into the seventh house. So there might be some karmic retributions. Where do you need to say sorry? Where is it that you can forgive the other and maybe receive an apology in your mind from that person without actually receiving it, so you can clear that frequency with the other, within your relationships? Another point that was coming up for the Venus star point, which is in the third position that I was looking at, the word daisies came up. So I asked Spirit, I said, daisies, what does that mean? Well, this is working with flower essences. This is, again, learning to work with the more natural environments of our planet, Taurus, Uranus, new ways of seeing things that maybe we looked at every day. So what was coming in, what I've been seeing a lot in my feeds, are ways people are starting to harvest and grow plants and herbs, and maybe what they considered to be weeds in the past, right? You know, we weed our garden and we want to get rid of the weeds. Well, now we're turning out that those weeds actually might be medicine. They might be medicinal and help us within our bodies. So, you know, what we consider junk, like junk DNA, junk things in our yards, you know, plants that we thought were maybe cumbersome or that were invasive, now we're realizing are actually really beneficial to the body and can be really beneficial as we start working with these essences that were considered once, you know, more pests or nuisances. Now we're actually considered medicines and very valuable. So the frequency of the energy of daisy was coming in. And when I looked up daisy and what it, you know, the benefits of daisy, the first thing that came in was it's a natural diuretic. And it also corresponds to the card that was in that placement was Mars and Leo. So really being able to take action from the heart, but being able to release a lot of maybe excess emotions. Diuretics is releasing excess fluids. So perhaps you might want to start playing or working with the daisy energy, right? Through, I know there's a great product from Bach Flower Remedies that I love to work with. And so you can explore possibly working with flower essences, daisy specifically for this time period, especially while the moon is in Capricorn, to help us process, you know, where we have been bound, because Capricorn also it's ruled by the Devil card, which is where we bind ourselves, right? Where we imprison ourselves by our own beliefs. And again, it might be some karmic relationships that might be coming up to be looked at, that you have to bind yourself to remove yourself, right? Clearing those karmic connections, those contracts, those bindings. And then what the top of the Venus star point, the word that was coming in for that particular placement was pepsin. And I had to look up what pepsin was. I know I've heard it in relation again to nutrition, digestion, and it's basically a digestive enzyme. And that corresponds to Mars. And it's also the card that came up was the Six of Wands, which was ruled by Jupiter and Leo, again, the heart, and Jupiter's expansion. And so when I was tuning into the frequency of digestive enzyme, what does that mean? Well, we know Cancer, which is, again, Venus and Mars are in Cancer. Cancer rules the stomach area, and it also rules our ability to digest. So you might be wanting to work with digestive enzymes at this time to help you process the energy of forgiveness, retribution, clearing up karmic contracts with the others. So how you digest experiences, your food, life, you really might be encouraged to be working with some form of digestive enzymes at this time right now, because that's sort of the crowning aspect of what Venus is wanting you to take better care of your body and be very specific with the body parts and the frequencies of the body that you're working with, right? So this is something that you can consider working with. Again, daisies, pepsin, digestive enzymes. And then the heart of the matter, which was at the center point of this Venus Star Point card, was again the Devil card. And the Devil card is ruled by Capricorn, and the moon is in Capricorn right now. And the word that came up for that was subways and the number 11. Okay, so subways, when I went to, okay, why is it relevant for subways to be in that position with Capricorn? What is Capricorn saying? And the root word of subways is underground tunnel or passage. The first underground city to have a subway would be London. So I thought that was interesting. So I think of subways, I think of passages of water, underground passages. So I think of anything underground or hidden is going to be Scorpio, which again, we still have the South Node in Scorpio, which is our collective karma. And we're talking about karmic energies. So again, going to those hidden places within ourselves in our digestion. So this would be a really good time for a gut cleanse, because what may be happening and what we may be experiencing is our ability not to see the future, or it's impeding our ability to have foresight, Neptune, because we're not clear, because our windows of connection, of perception have been clouded, if you will. They're dirty, right? They just because of, old energies. So we need to clear those out. And so think of like being able to see out of a window clearly. You got to clear that window. So what the body is asking for is support, new ways, new chemistry. Again, South Node in Scorpio, this is a collective energy. What our karma is, we need to work with different chemicals. So anywhere that we have been addicted to specific chemistry in our bodies, that's what's being asked for to change, specifically in the digestive system. And diuretics, removing excess water from the body. We might be holding, lots of fluids someplace in the body. Some of you might be experiencing that. And so this is an opportunity to also release those fluids, which we know water in astrology denotes emotions. So where are you extra emotional? You might be able to help process the energy of emotions and the water, whatever's being retained in your body, by working with daisy medicine and by adding extra digestive enzymes to your system to help you move through the energy, whatever subterranean things are going on in the deep subconscious. Because again, Pisces is part of this. It's Neptune, so it's our dreams, it's our collective energies, our where we are connected to everybody and everything. And perhaps our ability to perceive our situation in the future can be cleared through using specific substances and being aware that, where we bind ourselves with our thoughts right now with the moon in Capricorn, we can have an emotional release, transformation happening through our discipleship, through our discipline. Capricorn, working hard to bring awareness to what's happening in the underground of us, somewhere in our consciousness, right? Where are we habits of what we eat what we ingest, what we digest. Are we able to digest the things happening in our lives, not just in the physical, but also in the spiritual, the emotional, the mental realms, the financial realms? Because again, Venus is tied to this. So let me see if there's anything else that wants to come through. Oh yeah, there is I also cross-reference many different calendar systems, and I love working with the Mayan astrology. And through Mayan astrology, there's only 52 portals a year, 52 days per solar sun cycle where what are considered portals, or galactic activation portal days. If you imagine just ports of energy, right, that open up for you to see and to look at. And there is an actual portal energy happening today. And I want to read that to you in reflection to what Venus was sharing with us and the Venus star point, also just to the energy of the moon in Capricorn. And so these are just some words to process and to meditate on and reflect on, because again, we only have these portal days, 52 of them a whole solar year. So we have a portal day happening today. And this is what the energy speaks on to this portal, this opening of consciousness. I empower in order to question, commanding fearlessness. And I love that. Commanding fearlessness is like, commanding Aries and the Mars energy to come through. I seal the output of intelligence, which is Mercury, the mind, which is also, again, retrograde and in Taurus, with the overtone of radiance. So radiance is raw energy emitting the sun energy. Again, we got that Cassini right now with Uranus, which is unexpected change, inventiveness, right next to the sun. So with the overtone of radiance, so radiating out new energy. I am guided by the power of flowering. So you think of a flower growing in a garden that blooms, that all of a sudden you've been waiting for this flower to emerge, and then all of a sudden it just shows, it flowers, it opens itself up. And it says, I am a galactic activation portal, enter me. So these are just points of reflection, energies that you can work with, terminology that you can play with, that you can reflect on as you're starting to deep dive more into your own gnosis, into your own sense of self, by studying the elements and the things around you with the mindset of as above, so below, as within, so without. Everything is happening for us. Everything that we're perceiving around us could be cleared up by doing some clearing of your digestive system, working with the daisy medicine, learning to be versatile, learning to pivot within your mind and your body so you can have more of a robust experience of this energy that we're all feeling right now. So anyway, I just want to thank you for everybody watching in the now time or in the future, whatever now time moment. Again, this is a new way to look at Venus, this new sort of upload, download on how Venus is speaking to me. And I'm really excited to share this sort of Venus patterning with all my community members. So if you want a specific Venus star point chart session, I'm learning to work with this energy with this new uploaded system. And I would love to be able to offer perhaps a reading or a session with anybody that's interested, that wants to know what Venus has to say. And again, all my sessions are donation basis. So whatever it is that Venus wants to give through you, I am open to receiving, because this is a new skill set that I'm learning. And it's also a new way to have a conversation with the planets. And we need each other, right? We need the other to be able to bounce these ideas and reflections with. And it's just a fun way to get to know yourself and your community members, also other beings who want to speak astrology. So please reach out to me if you would like a Venus Star Point chart session, donation basis. I'm excited to see what Venus has in store for you. And again, thank you for tuning in and checking out the energy and just doing your own deep dives with these energies, however they want to come through. I recommend playing with your cards if you're called to use divination tools, with your astrology chart, and just learning to tune into yourself in unique, creative ways. And it's fun. It's fun to connect to yourself. It's fun to connect to divinity. And through practice, through discipleship, through the routine, taking action upon connecting to these aspects of yourself, you're just going to be receiving more and more clarity, more foresight into how to navigate the energies to move forward with grace and ease. And yeah, thank you for connecting to the energy. There's a lot more to be said. There's, Mercury going forward after the 15th. So there's a lot more astrology to be talked about. I'm just going to try to do it in little chunks. So please stay tuned to Lives in Astrology for more and more connections, more of these reflections and more conversations about maybe what the cosmic energies are sharing with all of us. So thank you for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I love you guys. And I'll, talk to you soon. Okay. Bye.